vinyl community, happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday, it's me, JC, and we are going to talk about Record Store Day 2022 and some dream items that I would love to see released for Record Store Day. Before we get started, if you like my videos, please hit the like, hit the subscribe, and smash the bell. You'll be notified every single time that I drop a video. So, what are the likelihoods of these picks that I wish for getting released in Record Store Day? Probably pretty slim. But then again, I'll point out ones that I think could eventually happen, even if it's not for Record Store Day. Now, in 2022, we do know that some of my all-time grails are scheduled to be released. Now, that being said, there is kind of that wait and see because of the pressing plant delays. And every time a major artist, whether it be Taylor Swift or Adele or one of these artists, release a new album, these reissues kind of get pushed back. But let's talk about those and what's scheduled so far. So Chris Isaak, Heart-Shaped World. Every year this has been one of my number one grails, scheduled to come out this summer as a Record Store Day essential, which is amazing. Suicidal Tendencies. How can I laugh tomorrow when I can't even smile today? There is going to be an independent record store release of this sometime this year. Hopefully I'll be able to scoop it up. I saw it on Bull Moose's website, but you cannot pre-order it. Another one of my grails. And then obviously we have the onslaught of Neil Young reissues. First with Freedom, which is the one with Rockin' the Free World. I already own that, so I'm not going to be purchasing that. But Ragged Glory, all-time grail. Weld, all-time grail. Sleeps with Angels, Unplugged. All of these are scheduled to come out. Will we see them before the end of the year? Some of these we were supposed to see for Black Friday last year. We'll have to cross that bridge and see. Neil Young has scrapped the timeline. We're also missing 3 of his bootleg series. Actually, 4 of his bootleg series at this point. So there's a major backlog in the Neil Young catalog. But let's talk about the things I want to see come out. Now, I did a poll the other day just to see what some of people's favorite albums that they wish would be reissued. And landslide was Tripod, or the Dog album by Alice in Chains. Most people do not own this on vinyl. They may own it on official press because the original vinyl is so scarce. If you own it, kudos to you. It was a double album. It was Alice in Chains' last official album. It would be fantastic to see that for Record Store Day. The likelihood is not, because you're more likely to see it released as a standalone release. Look at Facelift. Facelift was released about a year and a half ago. It's already selling in the $80 range. But the record companies know that there is a demand for Alice in Chains. So I think hopefully we will see the Tripod album. Another one that came up and is consistently coming up is Tracy Chapman's self-titled album. This is one with Fast Car. My buddy Aaron Mutha Alamir grailed me this. He sent it to me, a grail in the mail. Thank you, Aaron. Otherwise, this would definitely be top of my list also. But I'd like to see that as a Record Store Day release so that the average consumer could grab it. Another one that was surprisingly came up on the list, which is one of my favorites, but it's awesome to see a high demand for this, and that would be Bone Machine by Tom Waits. So cool that a lot of my viewers said that this was a grail of theirs, because I love this album, and to me, it's one of the best albums of the 90s. Another one is the Wedding album by Duran Duran. This is one of their early 90s albums. It was their comeback album with Come Undone and Ordinary World, 2 massive hits for Duran Duran and thrust them right back into the spotlight. So the Wedding album was another one that would be a great Record Store Day find. Now, items that I personally would love to see that were not on that list, I would love to see either a full Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers concert, or the Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers Bob Dylan tour, kind of like a box set what the Grateful Dead did, where they do the whole Heartbreakers set and then the whole Dylan set with the Heartbreakers being their backing band. That would be fantastic. I would absolutely love it. Another one that I would love to see, but it's very unlikely, would be either A, Dave era Van Halen live album, or B, Live Without a Net, a Sammy Hagar the one that was filmed as a concert film. If they have the original audio from that, that would be fantastic. So either way, a Dave era, Van Halen live album or Live Without a Net, either one would be amazing. And then lastly, I think that one that I personally would like to see, and I think that, a lot of the subscribers would like to see, would be definitely some of the Counting Crows reissues. I know that they're a polarizing band and some people don't love them, but I really think that This Desert Life and Hard Candy should be on vinyl. It's two of my favorite albums of the 90s. I really think if you go back and listen to it, there's some great songs on there. I would love to see the Counting Crows reissues. All right, guys, put down below what some of your ideal record store day releases would be. Happy Tuesday. Go listen to some AC/DC. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Actually, I'll see you next weekend. Busy tomorrow. All right. Peace. Rock out. Love you. Bye.